I see you guys like the series so far. And yes, I changed the thumbnail. So yes. So this is what um deku was overpowered slash badass. Where we left off was when Deku was at the at the base where the coffee lady said that that's where that's like a second place, like a hideout or something. Deku went there and he found out so much stuff. He found out she was the butterfly of death. She and a lot of other stuff. And yeah, Deku's when Deku put clicked the button Assassin's Creed code, it showed it up with a lot of profiles. There's a lot of profiles. Deku was confused. He doesn't know what he's doing. He actually does, but a lot to take in. He sees a lot of. It says worthy recruitment, and he scrolls down the list. It's showing Aizawa, a racerhead. It's also showing someone else with ear piercings. Golden ring ear piercings. Nick is confused about that. His name is Law. Nick is saying, what? And then he scrolled down even more. And then he found another one that piqued his interest. A cyborg. A cyborg. Name unknown, but abilities. He has a lot of abilities, not gonna lie. He can hack into stuff. He's pretty much a bot. It's a human cyborg. And then he goes back up where Low's profile is. He's click on that, and he reads up with what he can do. It basically says he can create a room with whatever he want. He can do whatever he wants there, but he's limited. It says he's a good medical person, and it switch people's bodies onto a different person's body. Yeah, he did that. He creates the room and he slashes. He can bend it as his will. And Deku says, shit. That's gonna be a drag. Deku's. And then Deku scrolls back up and he sees Aizawa again. Deku rethinks that. And then he clicks on his profile. It's saying that he can erase whatever quirk, and he has very good martial arts and good combat. Deku says, huh. And he's so confused, but at the same time he's sad. He's so confused and sad. He doesn't know what to do. But he would do what the coffee lady said. Coffee lady said that she was in a group once. That she was about to create a group. She thought it's kind of suicidal, so she just lived a normal life, leaving the butterfly of death behind and working as a coffee lady. Her name was actually Rose. Rose. Deku says, and then he says, well, might as well do it. And then Deku gets up from the chair. He starts walking away, and then he bumps into something. So it was covered on a blanket. He bumped into it, and he found it interesting. He grabbed the blanket was on top of it, and then he took it off. Slowly recovered. So slowly he sees a suit, a white suit actually. It's the Assassin's Creed suit with the hidden blade. Deku says, huh? And then he taps the wall 2 times actually. And then, Deku says, must be a suit. And he sees it's open. He opens it, and he says, And then he puts on the suit. It's been the same on the thumbnail, like the guy next to Ozawa. Yeah, it looks like that. Him saying, time to do it. And he puts the hoodie on and starts walking away. He finds a motorcycle, but the frame is missing as well as the gas. Deku says he will do that later. But first, he grabbed out his phone at the back and texts the guy, like that boss, the boss he met last, I think last part, yeah, that one. He texts him that he'll do one job for him, and that's it. And the boss gets the text, and he was hoping for Deku to text him, and the boss smiles and says, finally, someone will take on the job. He explains what's the job, and it confuses Deku even more. He never heard of someone called companies called the Stark Interesting. Deku is confused. And the boss said you can take how long as you want, but as long as you get the case. Yeah. Deku, as long as you get the case and bring it, and yeah, as long as you get the case, and yeah, that's what it is. And Deku said, get a case. Okay. He said it will take two months max. Deku, because he wants to kind of fix the motorcycle first. And let me show you what it looks like. So yeah, it looks like this. Okay. It looks like this, but without the frame and the gas. Okay, that's what it looks like. So yeah, Deku, he remembered the frame at the beach, and he sees it's pretty broken. So he'll get some parts from the shop. But first, he's gotta find one of those 3: Aizawa, Law, or the human cyborg. I wonder who I should go for first, said Deku. Someone first. And then Deku goes out for a hunt for them, not killing, just looking for them. He's on top of the roof doing parkour. Deku wants to challenge himself by not using his demon god powers. Like, yeah, and not relying on Michael's powers this whole time. So yeah, Deku is already faster. He is he is very fast. If he uses demon god mode, he's like beyond a god. If he doesn't use like any form of demon mode, he's like under All Might Prime. Yeah, he's under. And yeah, he's looking for three of them, and then he hears someone scream out. Say room, and then he sees a blue circly aura, and then he knows that's him, Law, because you know he had every single information on him. So yeah, Deku he parkoured all the way to him, and then he had to jump to a building across the street, and he did that. He jumped across a building on the street, and then he landed on the other building. And then he slides down under I don't know, I forgot what it's called. And then he starts parkouring up. And then he jumps on a pillar. And then he sees Law. He's fighting villains. He's a vigilante. Now he's an anti hero. He can do whatever he wants. And Deku, he's just Assassin's Creed, sitting down, like thinking. Might as well try. And Deku backflips off he jumps, and then he dives, and then he lands on his foot. It was actually an alleyway. Deku said, so, like, Law already knocked out, you get, what is it called? Law already took it out on the villains. The villains. And Deku just jumped out of nowhere. That surprised Law. Law says, "Who are you?" Law, Deku says, "My name is Deku. Or Midoriya. Or just call me Deku for sure." Deku. Law said, "Fine, Deku. What do you want?" And Deku says, "I asked you if you want to join my crew." Law said, "Why?" He said again, "If I request for you to join my crew." Law says decline, and Deku gets a little bit pissed. He says, "What?" Law says, "What? You can't deal with a little like one word? No." And Law gets a little bit cocky. Then he says, "Fine. If you can beat me in a fight, I will join your crew." And Deku says, What if I lose?" Law said, "If you lose, I will never see your face ever again." which means death. And Deku says, okay. And then they have an intense stare down. And then Law said, room. And then Deku already expected that. And then Deku flashed it on the front of the Law, kneeing him in the gut. And then kicking him on the face. Then sending him flying a few feet. Him hitting the wall and coughing a little bit of blood. Law was on his feet saying, cheap trick. And Law said he already won, though. And a circly wind, over, like, circle wind something, I don't know, like, appeared. And then after that, he get out his katana out of nowhere. And then he slashed an X. Deku expecting it. And then Deku Park was going up. And then starts running on the roofs. Law thinks he ran away, but it was the opposite way. Deku just jumped off the roof, and then getting his what is it called? Getting his hidden blade ready to stab a Law on the left, like getting ready to stab Law on, like, the left shoulder. I mean, yeah, the right shoulder. And Law doesn't know where he is, and then he gets hit. Nah, he doesn't stab him on the shoulder. He just dislocates it. Yeah, that's it. And Law screams and says, "Ah, damn you, little brat." Deku jumps off Law and then, like, lands back down and says, "Oh, that's your fault for being dumb." Law says, why you so mean? And Law, I forgot one of Law's abilities. Oh yeah, Law said Law makes things, like, fly a little bit up, like a lot of things fly up into, like, one circle, and then, like, a lot of buildings float all the way up, and then Law puts force his hand going down, touching the ground with all of those buildings, like, things going to try and hit Deku. I mean, trying to hit Deku, yeah. Deku had a katana at the back of him because, yeah. And then he gets it out and he gets ready to block it. And then, without Deku expecting, Law throws a rock at the back of Deku. Deku not expecting anything from it because he missed, and he forgot about one of his abilities, teleporting to the things he chooses that he uses room on. And then Law teleports to that, and then kicks on Deku using the room to, like, boost his strength. Kick, making him go all the way up and, like, going to hit all of those buildings that Law levitated and, like thing down. Deku says frack. And then he uses the, what is it called again? This path of the sixth path. One sword style. The sage of the sixth path. And then it gets cut into eight stuff. It's like this smooth. Never mind, I got the name wrong. It was the crossing of the sixth path. and it looks. And he basically did this. So yeah, he basically did that. And then and then the rubble explodes by the pressure of Deku's slices and made it explode. And then Deku land on his 2 feet, retrieving his one sword and one katana. And then after that, retrieves it out and then cuts the ear like it. Law, not knowing what he did, he didn't want to use it, but he had to use one of his devil god abilities, and then like he slashed the air 2 times and then retrieved it, and then he says blind slashes, and it hits Law, making Law get knocked out. Deku, he hearing sirens of polices and heroes coming. Deku running, and